Gavanin, welcome friends to another episode of the Lord of the Wrongs podcast, the only Tolkien podcast the professor himself would dismiss as juvenile and crass. I am Dan Zerby, and I am here with my co-host and friend Sean Kelly, and we will be discussing the writings, adaptation, news, and anything else involving the works of J.R.R. Tolkien in a manner we're quite confident he would not approve of. Hey Sean, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Zerby.
That's great.
Yeah, how are you doing? Any
I'm fine.
Tolkien stuff going on in your life?
Well, kind of. We're gonna have to start every episode this way at this rate. Have some corrections from last week, or a correction,
yes.
I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, kind of crapped the bed and made some bold claims that were completely unfounded. One might even call idiotic.
Let's not go that far. Okay.
Yeah,
it's still informative one way or another.
It's informative and incorrect.
You learn by your mistakes.
That's true. Yeah, no one ever improves because everything goes right. So last week at the end of the episode, I don't want to drag Sean into this. I made the very bold claim that J.R.R. Tolkien was a big fan of Parliament's 1976 Mothership Connection album, which has a few problems. One, J.R.R. Tolkien died 3 years before that record came out.
That's a bit of an issue, I would say.
Yeah.
An issue we've been running into a lot with our fun facts here.
Yeah, it's like it's
it's
almost like we're
the
making it up.
Down.
No. Yeah, I mean it's almost like we're making it up, but we're not. We're just getting bad information.
Yeah, I mean we just keep using unreliable sources. I've been checking this book for these facts, but I realized it's just a composite notebook that I just wrote a bunch of made up facts in. So I'm going to switch to a different source.
Yeah, I guess just fever dream journals are not not going to be good information.
Not the most reliable. What was the other issue with that?
I mean,
it was 3 years after he passed away.
Yeah, that night, there's no reason to believe he was a fan of funk.
Yeah,
I can't think of a less likely person to be a big funk fan as a stuffy English professor.
Yeah,
well, not that stuffy. He had a sense of humor and such. But
he did, but I don't think
he wasn't that cool.
He wasn't that groovy, I guess.
Yeah,
he was cool, but
but he didn't want the funk
intellectual way.
Yeah,
no.
He didn't want the funk. He didn't have to have that funk.
No, and many of us do, but teach their own.
Many of us do, myself included. I mean, I need the funk. I gotta have that funk.
Well, I also have a bit of a correction, Zerb.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
He's really going to damage our reputation.
Yes, our stellar, spotless reputation. I also made a bit of an error in assigning Gandalf as a golden retriever. The
bit was funny. I mean, it tickled me.
I like the idea of the Fellowship of Puppies, which is why I have actually come up with the proper dog breed for every member of the Fellowship.
Oh my god!
I'd like to see if you approve of my choices here.
All right, well let's hear them. Let's see what you got.
What
dogs are the Fellowship?
Gandalf is an Irish wolfhound, I think.
Yep.
Gandalf the Grey, certainly. He's
absolutely
a shaggy, rangy
gray.
Yeah, no, I think it fits.
He's tall. He's also tall, so that works.
Yeah, those dogs are tall as hell.
Yeah, they're leggy.
Yeah. I don't know what I mean. He might be a golden retriever as Gandalf the White, but
it would probably be like a white lab instead of a golden.
Yeah, that's right. Or a white labradoodle, something like that.
Yeah.
So I've got Aragorn as a husky.
Yeah.
A man from the north, strong,
those steely blue eyes too. There
yeah, loyal, all that good stuff.
I like
I've
it.
got Boromir as a mastiff. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
that
he's
works.
just a
That works. I mean,
he's
if
a
you
he's
yeah, if
yeah
you're
he's
stuck on a
vicious.
mountain, he's strong too. If you're stuck on a mountaintop, you're gonna want a big dog to shovel all that snow out of your way so you can escape.
There's
Escape
precedent.
the angry mountain. Yeah.
I've got Legolas. I was thinking of him for the golden retriever, but I actually
Could
have him
work.
as a greyhound.
Yeah, you know what? That works. I was thinking either Greyhound or like an Afghan. Those
Oh yes,
like you know what
yeah,
I
I
mean?
can stand
Because he's
Afghan.
got
Yeah.
that. Well, he's an elf, so regardless of the movie or the book, he's going to be pretty with long hair. So
Yes. Yeah.
that would
No matter
work.
exactly what his what he's supposed to look like, that
Yeah,
that pretty much covers the elfishness.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Agreed.
Gimli, I have as a bulldog.
Right. Yeah,
I
that's
mean
English
that's sort
bulldog's
of
like perfect.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's right across the plate.
yeah.
Um,
That's real. That's a good one.
the hobbits were a little tougher.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Do you
have
go small
Mary.
breed or do you go on
Yeah, I went
personality?
small
Like,
breed for
yeah,
everyone,
I think
but
that
I
makes
tried
sense.
to do the personality as well. I've got Mary as a corgi.
Yep, I could see that.
You can see it. Yeah, the short
Yeah,
legs and all
for
that.
sure. Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
Pippin as a Yorkshire Terrier, just
Yeah,
a
I
terrorizing
perfect.
little demon. But like
Ye-
at the end of the day, you still love him, you know.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sam, I have as a
You just
pug.
threaten him a lot. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I was gonna say I didn't know what you were gonna have for Sam. Pug is excellent. I was gonna say if not pug, at least like a French bulldog, something like that.
Yeah, but I figured Gimli's already a bulldog, you know.
Yeah, no,
I
that's fair.
figure bulldogs are dwarves, you know. So it's
Yeah, they're stout, they're short, and they thick.
but they're still bigger than a pug. Like a bulldog's basically a big pug, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
And
with you.
then Frodo was tough. I said
Frodo is tough.
dachshund because I thought it would just be funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
He's
It's
just he's just
stubby legs are always pretty funny. So
he's got the golden collar on.
Mhm. Yeah,
The more I guess realistic answer was like a spaniel, like a
yeah. I
cocker
mean,
spaniel or a
yeah, King Charles or something like that.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I
So
like it. I
yeah,
think those are all excellent choices. I don't have a single gripe with any of that. This is
that's what I
pretty
like to
good.
hear. So now
Yeah.
if you're trying to cast for I mean it would have to be a cartoon, which we know Tolkien loved
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know where to look, and you
Indeed.
also know where to send the checks. Well, you just send me an email, and then you'll know where to send the checks.
Yeah. Right.
I also have a bit of a. I've realized in our, recasting and in these adaptations and all that, we've thought of a number of actors and actresses who, who knows where they'll be, if they'll be what they look like in, at nearly 30 years from now.
Yeah. Most of them probably won't look like they do. Oh,
Yeah,
maybe Paul Rudd, and that's it.
which is why I'm predicting that in the year 2043, Madame Tussauds will reveal its true colors as a genetic information repository for celebrities, and
God
they
damn it! I
will be
knew it.
creating clones
I knew
after
it.
they upload the brain scans they've been taking while the
Oh yeah, of
celebs
course.
who are modeling, for their wax carving.
Yes.
And then the wax carving's obviously just there to have whatever outfit those people are
Right.
gonna end up using.
Indeed. That is that I've always thought that Madame Tussauds had something sinister going on, and now we know what it is.
Yeah, it's it's
I knew it
not
was either going to be
just
genetics or a House of Wax type situation.
Yeah, no, it's not
One
just
of
how
those two,
creepy the wax figures are themselves. There's something
which they
even more.
freaking are.
Yeah, they really are. It's like, oh, is that John Cena? And then you just look a little bit closer, and you're like, oh no, this is his dead eyes are just truly haunting me. But
Yeah.
you'll be even more haunted by the vacant clone that they create before they upload the consciousness matrix.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the day where you can have a conversation with like Wax Bruce Springsteen or something.
You aren't?
No, I'm not. That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it does.
It's yeah, that's just a predecessor to Skynet.
Yeah, it's just a much squishier sort of flesh adjacent Skynet that we're
Yeah,
working with.
it's yeah.
So, with that being said, the stage is set here. Okay.
It sure is. For what? I don't know. I'm very excited to find out.
So I had a bit of an idea for this episode, and we're only 4 episodes in, and
Yeah.
we're already doing a bit crossover. The
Okay.
people have been clamming for it, all 5 of them. And
All 5.
all 5 people that
It's
have
a
listened to this
passionate
podcast.
5, though. I mean, it's a really hardcore 5
Considering
followers.
we know all of them.
That's neither here nor there. That's not important. I think they're just really big fans of the podcast.
Yeah, I like to think that as well.
That's what I'm going to keep thinking.
I've got a bit of we're going to basically set up a segment of a giant segment of I Demand a Recast.
All right.
With a segment of Choo Choo Adaptation Station.
Adaptation Station.
We're pulling in to Adaptation Station, and we're going to stock this adaptation with a zany and kooky cast of comedic and also non-comedic characters. I mean, the floor is basically wide open.
I love it.
So I had an idea for us to explain basically how the gods work. We talked about all of the basically holy angelic beings, big G god, little G gods, and
Indeed.
all of the angels of Middle Earth, the Valar, Era himself, and the Maiar.
Yes.
Collectively, they're known as the Ainur.
And if you listened to last week's podcast, you would know that.
Yeah. I mean, you might not, because we're still, despite trying to be sort of intro user friendly, it's still hard to grasp all of these.
It is. There's so much
and everything.
I know. It's such a dense, deep world.
Yes.
There's so much to know and to learn.
I haven't read the Earth Bible, and I don't expect anybody else to have read the Middle Earth Bible either.
Yeah.
So I had an idea, Zerb, for a sitcom, and it would be set in Valinor, both before the creation of Middle Earth. I would guess that would be the first season. And then as the seasons go on, we just sort of progress through the ages. But it focuses on all of the Valar. And the name for this sitcom, I thought, would be If Only I Knew. And
a pun is good if it makes you furious. It made me laugh. It made me angry, and that's how you know it's a really, really good pun.
As with all good jokes, to explain it afterwards. So Valar are the gods of Middle Earth, basically, and but a singular god is a Valar.
Yes.
Vala. I don't know how it's pronounced exactly.
Yeah, there's no accent over either A, so it's hard to say for sure.
It's like an even thing, which is kind of just hard for me to. Anyway, and the Ainur, who are all of those beings combined, the singular is Ainu, as with Maiar and Maya. And Eru, there's only one of him, so there's no plural.
In fact, it means the one.
Yes,
so that's
decidedly zero plurals there.
Yeah.
But
I think of the things that Tolkien continued workshopping and thinking about throughout his life, even after publication, I don't think that's one that he
that was pretty set in
the character
stone.
He named the one is the only one of those.
Yeah, his way to get God into Middle Earth, he wasn't about to mess with that in any way.
No.
So
too good a Catholic.
I would like to set the scene, basically.
Please do.
So the Valar lived in basically the Undying Lands. Initially, they just sort of lived in I think it was a garden that was basically kind of floating in space, something like that. It was like a house.
Yeah, it was like almost like a gigantic greenhouse is what they were living in almost, I think.
And and that was before they basically sang the world into existence. And so I would like to imagine this as, I don't know, have you ever watched The Good Place?
I have seen The Good Place.
I haven't, but I do know. I do know.
Well, I haven't, and I know nothing about it, but I'm assuming it's a lot like what I thought of.
It is. I mean, it's basically. I mean, I can't spoil it because I haven't seen it, but it's basically the afterlife, and they're living in like a suburban cul-de-sac, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah,
I would imagine Valinor as, the house, the actual. I mean, where do they live? Tyrion upon Tuna or Taniquetil? No, I think those are both.
Manwë lives on Taniquetil at the top, but
well, maybe I should have researched that before this. But anyway,
listen, we are not Tolkien scholars. We're just dorks who like this stuff.
Yes.
We're always learning and correcting ourselves, and
trying to keep track of all of the places and names.
Yeah, I'm not Tom fucking Shippey over here,
You
can't all be Corey Olsen. Yeah, we can't all be brilliant professors.
No, we certainly can't.
We really, I don't think we're capable. I mean,
no,
it's not just that we're not. I don't think we can
be. So I'm basically envisioning the place where the gods live as a cul-de-sac. And so all of the Valar, besides two of them, are all paired up as husband and wife pairs.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I think each house is a cute little suburban, clone home sort of thing.
Yeah. McMansions, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That the Valar couples live in.
Sure.
In earlier works, there were children of the Valar. But he ended up nixing that basically and just kind of keeping it simple. Quote unquote simple.
Right, yeah, as simple as anything in the Silmarillion could be. Say simple for Tolkien is
it's not very wide but extremely deep. Basically.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, why don't we just get started by
let's do it.
Demanding a recast. I keep hitting my table for that, but I need some sort of.
I'm gonna get you a gavel.
I need a gavel.
Or maybe
So
just a hammer. I don't know. I'll just get you a hammer.
I have a hammer, but I don't think I should just be hitting my desk with a hammer for. I'm sure we could find a sound effect maybe in post. Anyway, so let's kick things off with, I mean the biggest and baddest couple in the
Yeah.
neighborhood themselves. We've got Manwe Sulimo and Varda,
Yes.
also known as Elbereth.
Yes.
So
Also known as Elendari.
yeah, everybody's got at least one name, basically.
It's what makes this one of the many things that makes the Silmarillion a little difficult to read. It's like,
I mean,
wait, who is he referring to? It's like, oh yeah, no, they were mentioned in the previous paragraph. He just decided to use a different name for the same person.
the reason is basically because people are naming them in different languages. You know, the
Right.
elves have
Yeah.
their name for them. There is a Valinorian name that they were
Yes,
given.
there
You
is
know,
a
Manwë
Valinor.
is his
Yeah,
name.
there's a
Varda is her
language
name.
specific to the Valar, yeah, and to Valinor. Yeah.
And then, you know, maybe there's a Manish name or something.
Right.
But yeah, so Manwë is known as the King of the Winds. So
Yeah. And the King of the Valar.
yeah, he's basically Zeus.
Yeah, except not as pervy.
Yeah, not as pervy, not
Nowhere
as
near
much
as pervy.
lightning, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he sends eagles, he doesn't send lightning bolts. Yeah.
Which is arguably cooler.
I would argue it's pretty. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are many times throughout my day that I would love to be able to throw a lightning bolt. But at the same time, if I could summon an eagle to carry somebody off,
that's
or,
what I'm saying. Yeah,
or
eagles
to
are a lot
deliver
more
a message,
flexible.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
only
you can't.
smiting with lightning.
Yeah. Lightning doesn't. Lightning doesn't make for a very good messenger. It's really hard to understand what might be communicated with a bolt of lightning to the top of your head.
Yeah, there's not a lot of subtlety there.
No, it's not.
So for the casting of Manwë, I was thinking that they're sort of the straight man couple in this sort of comedic troupe.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like Manwë probably.
He's just tired of putting up with their shit, kind of.
Yeah, I think Mandos is probably the only Vala that has less of a sense of humor than Manwë would.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
So I was thinking Thomas Hayden Church for him, who, if you don't know who that is, it's he was in Easy A he was like a teacher, and he was Sandman in
yes, he was Sandman.
Spider-Man. Yeah,
second or third Spider-Man? Third one, right?
I think. Yeah,
it's the third one. Yeah.
I realize I'm not gonna have to explain any of my references to you, Zerby, because you just know so many actors and musicians.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna have to look up basically anything that you say, probably.
Fair enough. I'll try to give examples of where you know this person from when I come up with it.
So, what do you think of that one? I feel like he's
a great actor. He can do a lot. So I think he would.
And he's got a great I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'm getting too old for this shit kind of.
He really does. He really does. Yeah, agreed. He's seems like the kind of guy who would make for an excellent exacerbated
leader, sort of. Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right. There's gonna be a lot of that, I feel.
Yeah, and so he's in the house at the end of the cul-de-sac, along with his wife Varda, or Elbereth, or I believe Frodo invokes her name when he lights up her his water
star
from
glass.
Galadriel. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
And she's the Star Queen. Yeah,
Star Queen. What a cool title.
It is.
It
is
Star
awesome.
Queen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yas Queen.
Yes, indeed.
She is basically queen of the heavens. Which is why the elves love her so much, because when the elves awoke initially, they were the only thing they could see. There was no sun or moon. There were no lamps. There were no trees. There was no source of light except for the stars.
The stars. Yeah.
And so they looked up and they were just captured by their beauty, and they have been ever since.
Ever since they love their stars.
Yeah.
That's why elves generally prefer silver to gold for the most part, because they just love the stars so much.
I personally do too. So.
Yeah, I prefer silver to gold in general.
Yeah. But so Varda is, I picture her as the one who is sort of making things actually happen, while Manwë is
taking the credit.
Taking the credit and just like not really, just tired of listening to everybody and actually getting things done. And so I was thinking for her, Helen Mirren.
Oh, Helen Mirren's good. See, I was thinking, and I feel like these two people have similar vibes. I was going to say Robin Wright would also be a good casting choice. She played Kevin Spacey's wife in House of Cards. She was Princess Buttercup from The Great Princess Bride.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That was her, wasn't it?
yeah. Right.
Goes to show how old that movie is.
Yeah, that movie is very old now,
and also very amazing.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
But
great book too, by the way. It's fantasy, so it's tangentially related to what we're talking about. I recommend everybody watch that movie if you haven't seen it. You're missing out on one of the great films of the 20th century, and it's a great book too. Actually,
we're mostly referring to anybody under the age of 25.
I would imagine. Yeah,
I would hope anybody our age or above has already seen that movie. Yeah,
it's so good. It holds up, by the way, too. If you haven't watched it in a while, rewatch it. It's still great.
Does, yeah. I like Robin Wright for that. It is a similar.
Helen Mirren's a good choice too, though. Yeah,
I figure
they do Stern very well.
Yes, and I figure they can both. I don't know what age they're being revived at by the Tussauds,
by Madame Tussauds
initiative, but I'm sure they're flexible. So
Well,
so
we'll have options. Maybe one of them will pass on the project. Who knows?
So next, it's gonna get a little. We're just gonna get a little bit. Goofier. Let's just call it what it is with the rest of my casting choices, at least.
Yeah, let's keep it goofy. I mean, we're doing a sitcom, and it better be silly.
Yeah. So for the next house, we've got the couple Aule and Yavanna.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure they're just kind of always at odds.
And they are, because
just,
Aule is. Yeah, I mean he created the dwarves and was a smith. He's like the creator of things. It's like the god of makers.
He's sort of a god of industriousness, not industry.
Not industry, but industriousness. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So, which is sort of runs counter to Yavanna, who is the Lady of Earth, who is the
loves her trees.
Yeah, goddess of nature, basically.
Yeah, giver of fruits, I think, is her official title, if I'm remembering correctly.
Aule is sort of the god of the actual ground and mountains and the earth itself, and Yavanna is basically goddess of anything that lives on it. Yeah,
she created all the plants and animals. She's the one responsible for Ents. Yeah, Iluvatar would have to give them their actual life, but she requested that there be basically guardians of her trees because her husband's dwarves might cut them down.
Yeah. So we've got the two of them in probably a house with a great lawn, I would guess.
Oh yeah, the landscaping at their house would be the landscaping and hardscaping. Yeah, they perfectly tended gardens. They have a beautiful patio. Maybe some really great lawn art.
He's spoiled by the constant ringing of a hammer and anvil in the backyard.
Like, damn it,
So
he's always smithing out there, isn't he?
and son of a- so for Yavanna, I got a couple of thoughts here. I was thinking Joni Mitchell. Like a younger Joni Mitchell.
That's a really weird but good choice.
Thank you, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's
I was just trying to think of
vibe.
I just see her as like sort of a
She's kind of like a
kind
hippie
of
chick.
lady. Yeah.
Yeah. She's singing folk songs and shit.
Yeah, but
Playing a dulcimer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Yavanna definitely plays a dulcimer.
Dulcimer on the stone patio in the back.
Yeah, 100%.
But I guess a more realistic answer would be like Kate Hudson.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that for sure.
She would be like Joni Mitchell is the sort of hippie lady.
Yeah.
Kate Hudson could play the hippie lady.
I was about to say that exact thing. Yes, indeed. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for her husband, Aule,
I have somebody in mind, but I want to hear what you came up with first.
No, let's hear yours first. I've gone first.
Okay, so I'm thinking because he's like the god of making stuff. To me, Nick Offerman.
Yes.
Is that where your pick? Yes.
Yeah. I had another one though.
Yes. Okay. All
But
right.
I think Nick Offerman almost certainly has to be it. Just because we agreed on it. It would just be him with
he's got the comedy
like a
chops.
hippie sort of wife is just very good, like funny to me.
Yeah.
Jack Black.
Oh yeah, Jack Black, yeah. Sure.
Something about him, like his energy as Aule would just be entertaining to me.
Yeah, that guy could swing a hammer for sure.
But the only thing, like, I think comedically it would play better as him being no nonsense.
Yeah.
Like Nick Offerman, instead of a zany sort of a Jack Black delivery.
Yeah, more straight, kind of
straight-laced, but
Ron Swanson sort of
occasionally goofy,
straight ahead. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just move on to the next house then.
Yeah, we're crushing it. Let's keep going.
So
the next house on the street.
Yeah, so I'm gonna save the singles for later. I know there's important single people, two of them, but for the next one, we're gonna go to the huntsman's house with so we've got Orome and the lady Vanna. Orome is known as the huntsman,
the great
Lord of the
huntsman
Forest.
of the Valar, yes.
Yeah, so you can see he's pretty closely associated with like the wood elves, who are pretty into Yavanna and Orome, which would kind of tracks. So the Sylvan elves, so like Legolas and his people.
Yes, yeah.
And then Vanna is the ever young, who's sort of responsible for giving eternal life. And sort of maintaining it, I guess, and youth and things like that.
Indeed.
So, do you have somebody for Orome?
Orome is a bit of a tough one. I feel like
I have a dumb one.
Okay, let's hear the dumb one.
I was thinking Louis Guzman.
Oh, what a weird choice. I love it.
Just the idea of him running around in like sort of a like hunter's like loincloth kind of thing with a bow slung across his back is just very good to me.
It is. I like that very much. So I feel like Luis Guzman is such a hilarious choice too, because his wife is perpetually young, so I don't know who you had in mind, but just
Yeah,
the
the dynamic
the
is very
dynamic
funny
and
there.
difference between those two, like it's so funny.
Who knows? With Tussaud Tech, it it could be we could have a young, virulent Louis Guzman
Yeah, it doesn't
instead
necessarily
of
have to be
a
a
middle-aged virulent Louis Guzman like
yeah,
we have now.
right.
But yeah, for Vanna, I was thinking Kristen Shaw,
Oh my God.
who's yeah, she's
That's a
just
great
very
choice.
funny. Yeah.
She is. She's hilarious. And she's very
Um,
youthful in
yeah,
personality
yeah,
wise. That's like
just
that's
sort of
pretty
like
perfect.
a childlike humor about her sometimes. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think it plays.
Yeah, definitely works for sure. She's got the hilarious voice too.
Yeah.
I love it.
So yeah, that they're the couple who they've got like their house has like 4 rooms. It's their bedroom, 1 bathroom, a kitchenette, and then just a giant trophy room. It's just a complete open floor plan, and it's just wall to wall heads of every animal that ever has or will exist.
Yeah, because Orome has hunted all of them at least once. Yeah.
And yeah, meanwhile, Fauna's just sort of putting up with it, but she's got her own, she's got like a shed with her art in it or something.
She's got a she shed out back.
Absolutely, yeah. She's got big she shed energy, Fauna, for sure.
Yeah, I agreed.
So
Well, we
yeah,
nailed that one too.
I think so. uh, so now, I think we're gonna move down the street to. We've got the brothers who are the they sort of lord over the realm of the mystic.
Mm,
Uh, we've got Irmo and Mandos or
yes, Irmo,
Namo.
also known as Lorien.
Yeah. Um, so we'll start with Irmo and Este. Yeah, Irmo is the Lord of Dreams, Visions, and Desires.
Groovy man.
Yeah, also known as Lorien. So I would say Lorien. So Lorien is named. If you recognize the name, Lothlorien
Yes,
is the forest. That Galadriel lives in.
yes, and kind of created almost to a degree.
Yeah,
Like
but
she made that
yeah,
forest what it is with all with the Malorn trees and such.
yeah, with her elf magic, where Irmo, well, really Yavanna created it, but
Yes, she created.
Irmo ruled over a forest of the same name, different forest,
Yes,
many years before in the first age, and I
yeah.
think they made it after the first age had begun, right?
I'm almost certain that's correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
believe
so they
so.
were dwelling in Middle Earth for a while, before they all just kind of ran away. But
Yeah,
in this case, he's just got sort of the backyard's a little wooded and kind of spooky.
yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
not as well tended as Yavanna's gardens.
no, yeah, Yavanna's got the clean. She's got woodlands, and there's a bunch of critters
Yeah,
constantly. She's
it's
got squirrel
manicured.
feeder, bird feeder,
Yeah,
hummingbird feeder, every
all of the
animal.
feeders.
Yeah, every animal trough you could think of. She's got a
She's got salt licks
birdhouse
for the
that's
deer.
yeah, birdhouse that might be bigger
In their actual house.
than Vanna's she shed.
Yeah. Yeah. She
But
does love her birds.
so Irmo, I was thinking uh Keanu Reeves for
Oh
Irmo
yeah.
because
That's
he's got the mystery,
yeah.
but he's also, I mean, Bill and Ted style. He's got that sort of, hey, groovy man.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa. Nice
Dude.
dreams.
Oh man, Keanu has built a Ted Theodore Logan as Irmo. I love it.
Yeah, and so we've got then we got his wife, who is Este.
Yes, the gentle.
Yes, she's the Lady of Healing and Rest.
Yeah,
So basically goddess of sleeping and
yeah.
taking a load
Recovery.
off.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
recovery is actually an important theme in Tolkien, but yeah, she's the
Mhm.
goddess of that. So
She sure is.
I envision her as basically just napping all the time, and
She's a very sleepy lady.
yeah, Irmo basically being her like dream analyzing therapist. But like she's never with him. Like it's almost questionable whether or not like exists for the first season because she's just
Right? We
always
don't see
sleeping.
her. She's always asleep in the other room.
It's just like she's just napping at all times.
It's like, hey Irmo, where's your lady? It's like, she's napping in the other room.
Yeah,
It's
she's
like,
napping in the
every
other
time she's over
room,
here, I never see her. It's like, yeah, she's just tired. I don't know.
and she's dreaming about frolicking with deer. So that's nice.
That is
I don't
nice.
want to interrupt that.
Yeah. Yeah, he like
uh,
puts his finger to his temple to see what she's dreaming about.
yeah,
It's like she's dreaming
maybe
about hold
make
on a
it a
sec.
little happier.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? She's having a bad dream. Let me just fix that real quick.
Just gonna tweak a couple things. All right, yeah,
And
she
she's
should
having
be
a good
good.
time.
Uh, so for her, I was thinking Jennifer Connelly.
All right. All right.
I feel like she's one of those like actresses who's like, I mean, I feel like every actress with movie magic just looks like they sleep beautifully, you know?
Well, she does look like somebody who would be asleep in a fairy tale.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she's very
And
beautiful.
I think she goes well with like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I
And
feel like that would work.
yeah, I envision her as being sort of what's the word for it? Like not very just sort of like zoned out a lot and
She's always
wispy.
yawning.
Yeah. When we actually see her.
When you see her, she's always
when,
yawning.
when she's not sleeping in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that covers their house, which
I like it. I think that works. All right, well let's move on to the next casting.
yeah, so we've got the goth house coming up.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm picturing this as a like the house down the street where the parents are just like, no, we're not trick or treating there.
Yeah, those
We're
guys
going
are
to the
weird.
next one. We've got Mandos and Vide.
Yeah, Mendoza and
Uh,
Vaire.
yeah. So Mandos is, as we mentioned before, the
Yeah, last
doomsman.
week. Yes, the judge of the dead.
Yeah, his actual name is Namo. That's his
Yes,
sort of Valinorian given name.
right. But the elves call him Mandos.
Yeah, he and Lorien, both brothers, are named after where they live. So he lives
Yeah,
in the halls of Mandos, which is
yeah,
basically the halls of the dead.
yeah.
And yeah, and Lorien lives in Lorien, the forest.
Yes. Go
Uh,
figure.
yeah, imagine that. And so Vide is the weaver, and she weaves the fate of Arda.
Yeah, yeah. So she's these two are very much like Vala of like duty. Like they're not these are two they don't have a sense of humor really. And
No,
they really just everything that they do is by command of Eru or Manwë, pretty
yeah,
much.
it's sort of like how Hades was almost trapped in hell and sort of stuck doing his job. I mean, same with
Yeah.
Lucifer, really.
True. That was a little different because Lucifer
Yeah,
rebelled.
yeah. But he's certainly more like Hades, or honestly, mostly like Anubis.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I'm trying to think. I don't know of any Norse god that it would be closer to, just because Tolkien referenced or borrowed from Norse mythology quite a bit as well. But I can't think
Yeah,
of. I can't. I don't. I'm not as familiar with it.
Norse don't really have the same like concept of
Yeah,
like
it's not the same
hell or
thing.
Hades.
Yeah.
Hell, He. Well, they have Hell, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's not really.
Yeah.
He's more of a judge than a
Right.
like
He's
keeper of
not a
the damned.
Yeah, he's not a tormentor or anything
No.
like that. It's like,
Um.
well, you'll come here and I'll decide how good of a boy or girl you've been.
So I've got two routes we could go for this homestead.
All right.
So I was thinking. Well, first I'll explain Vire, the Weaver. She's sort of like the three fates in Greek mythology.
Yeah,
She,
yeah, yeah.
she determines the fate of Arda. Basically, she writes the story of what happens
Yeah.
by weaving it into a tapestry, basically.
Yeah, so like there's Eru's will and men have free will. Elves not so much free will, but either way, all of this has to go according to plan and it's her job to make it work basically.
Yeah, because elves can't really change the fate of Arda in any way. They can
No, it's
make
going to
decisions.
eventually end. Yeah, it'll eventually end and they will die. And
And
that's kind of it.
yeah, but men sort of, I imagine men are her biggest, her biggest like monkey wrench
Headache?
in the works. Yeah, her biggest headache.
Yes. Yeah.
Because she's just has to constantly
Like,
so I
God
imagine
damn
her
it.
just at the loom at all times, just okay. It looks like Boromir decided to take the ring. I guess I'm gonna have to.
All right, let's make
Okay,
this work.
I can work with this. I can work with this, and just constantly reweaving.
Yeah, yes. She has to keep fixing things that she's already finished.
Yeah, like I imagine. Yeah, I imagine she finished the whole tapestry in the first season or something,
Yeah.
and
And then
then
it has to keep
once
fixing for the rest of the show.
once the men came, she was like, "Oh no, I have to,
Oh,
I have to
jeez.
cut this out." And oh god,
I have to rewrite the whole second act. God damn it.
yeah. So I have two couples envisioned. So I was thinking for Mandos, not at all the serious person you were suggesting. I was thinking Richard Ayoade.
I'm gonna have to look up who that is.
He's a British comedian. He was in the IT Crowd, and
Oh, that guy, yeah.
yes, yeah, he's
Absolutely.
hilarious.
Yes, he is hilarious.
Yeah, I can see him being yeah, he's got great deadpan. So
He does. He is excellent deadpan. Yeah.
yeah, I can see him
Yeah.
being funny as like the guy who actually has to do his job while everybody else is just sort of putzing around. He are like the only ones who are actually really.
Manway's always giving him stuff to do, and he's like, "Man, I really wish I could have fun instead of."
Yeah, they're all having like a garden party, and he's just in the basement with his scales judging souls again.
He's like, "I've got too much to do today. I can't stop by."
And then as his wife, I was thinking Yvette Nicole Brown.
Oh my
from
God! Yes.
Community. She's
Oh yeah.
hilarious.
Oh, that's so. Oh yeah, her getting flustered and annoyed that she has to
Yes.
reweave a blanket she finished
Yeah,
already.
her just like knitting the whole like at all times.
Oh, that's perfect.
Just constantly knitting and just getting
That is
flustered.
inspired. That is inspired. That's brilliant.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done, my friend. That is very that one I really really like.
And the one you might that's just sort of ridiculous, but I just saw him and I was just thinking it would be funny to have him somewhere. Billy Eichner as Mandos.
Oh man, yeah, that
Just
would also work really, really
also
well.
very angry about having to do his job.
Just
And then the sort of gender bent husband of him would be Michael
yeah,
Pena. I don't know why. I just thought it would be funny to have Michael Pena in there as
that would
well.
be that would be a very yeah, it's a weird choice, but I can see it. It's
I
an
don't know.
odd choice, but I can see it working. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something he just sort of popped into my head, and I just think I just like Michael Pena. He's just like a likable guy,
He
and
is. He's very likable.
him with like 10 thimbles on his fingers because he keeps poking himself. This is just a funny image to me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah, so there's the productive couple's house, which is,
Yeah.
just sort of like every time you walk over to their house, the gates sort of slam open and like a howling wind comes through, and it's
Like,
just
oh, this is the
like
serious place. Yeah.
they have that the camera like that zoom where it's on a track and it sort of changes the perspective like every time they walk through the gate, and it just gets
Yeah.
old.
Yeah. They're like, okay,
um
this bit again.
so finally, well, we have three singles actually, but we've got the last couple's house, and
Yeah.
they're the party couple.
Oh yeah, they are.
We've got Tulkas and Nessa.
Yeah. This was when these two show up on screen, that's when the audience goes wild and applauds for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. They walk in and that's when there's like a break and the actors have to pause for a moment for the commotion to die down before they deliver their lines.
Yes. Yeah, the canned laughter is or like
Yeah.
canned audience applause is just so deafening every time.
Oh yeah.
So they are the wrestler and the dancer.
Yeah. The wrestler slash laugher. Or
Yes.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
just
Tulkas is always laughing as he's kicking people's butts.
he's having a good time. He's the champion of Valar,
Yeah.
the strongest of all of the
And
Valar.
yeah, strongest and fastest. He doesn't even carry any weapons because his fists are his weapons.
Yeah.
Also the fastest. He's faster even than Orome, which is kind of surprising.
Actually,
Considering...
his wife is the fastest.
Oh yeah, he's the fastest of the I guess
Of the
male Valar.
boys.
Yeah, of the boys. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
His wife is faster. That's true.
I think his wife just lets him win foot races every time to make him feel better about himself. She just knows how to stroke his ego. I imagine. So we already sort of came up with his casting.
Well, yeah, that's true. I personally decided that it should be either Hulk Hogan or Macho Man Randy Savage. However, now that we're in a sitcom situation, I feel like there's actually a better casting choice. Somebody you mentioned already. This would be John Cena would be a good.
Oh yeah, I can see John Cena. So I said I had two picks for this. I didn't really have anyone.
Mm-hmm.
One of the picks was not The Rock. Because he would just steal the scene, you know?
He would steal every scene.
But like in a way that's not fun and in line with the character. It'd be more like this is now the Rock show, even though he's like not even that important in the sort of rankings of the Valar.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
And I also said Louis Guzman with a question mark because it would also be very good to have him as Tulkas. Yeah,
he's thick and he's built that way, like you would imagine a wrestling god would be.
Yeah. But I do like John Cena for that. I think John Cena could play it well. Yeah,
I feel like the comedy aspect he would just do a good job at it.
I didn't watch what was the Peacemaker?
I didn't watch the show. I did watch the newer Suicide Squad that he was in. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it was hilarious. So I think he's got the chops for it.
He was funny in it for sure. Yeah. I think he can definitely do comedy. That's for sure.
And then so to complete and round out the party couple, we've got Nessa, who
Yeah.
really is, I think, maybe the lowest ranked of all the Valar.
Yeah, as a
She,
dancer should be.
I mean, she just sort of dances. I don't even like. I
It's kind
didn't.
of her whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, like looking into it, she kind of like. I don't really know what she's the. I think she's the goddess of dancing.
Yeah, she's the dancer, the swift. So she's fast and she dances, and
Yeah,
dances
she
fast.
races deer and beats them.
Yeah.
That's kind
Yeah,
of like
she
her
could
thing.
she outrun deer. Yeah. She's
So I thought of what I think is a very good casting choice for uh somebody who is fast and a dancer, and that's Michelle Jenica.
another person I'm going to have to look up.
Once you realize who this is, I think you'll agree with me. She is the I believe she's Australian.
Michelle, what's her name?
Jenneke, Jenneke. She's the one who went viral for her warm up dance. She's like a hurdler and like sprinter.
Oh, okay, that's why she's not coming up on IMDb.
Yeah. Yeah, that would do it. She's not an actress, but she will be.
Yeah, in
She
our show.
Yeah. She did this like warm up dance and went viral a few years back. Do you remember that at all? She was like in the
uh,
Olympics and did this like kind of like cute warm up dance thing, and like everybody was like going wild for it, I guess.
I don't remember this. But we know she's fast and she's beautiful.
And dances. That's
And
that
apparently
that's
dances, yeah.
yeah.
I mean
So that's what
that's
I'm
got to be the
saying.
big thing. So
So I mean, if you've
all right,
got a
that's
different suggestion, I'm glad to hear it. But it's kind of hard to come up with somebody who's just fast and
yeah.
dances.
Trying to think of who dances a lot. I feel like Ellen would be a problem these days.
Yeah, I
Ellen
think. I mean,
DeGeneres.
well,
We knew
maybe
she's too
after
mean.
like, yeah, after maybe they can tweak the personality matrix, and after like 25 years of her sort of being out of
Yeah.
the spotlight, out from under the gun, she might
Yes.
be
Yeah. It was
fun to
just
have on again.
yeah when she learns to stop screaming at her at her staffers.
Yeah.
Actually, if we kept that, that'd be pretty funny. It's like we have Ellen DeGeneres as Ellen as Nessa, always dancing and then yelling at people. It would work
So
comedically.
yeah, I mean,
She did have her own sitcom for years, so it's not like she wouldn't know what to do.
yeah, no, that's true. I mean,
It would work.
she's funny.
She's definitely funny. It's like that of all the any criticism you want to make of Ellen DeGeneres, you can't say she's not funny.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that would work too.
All right. I think we have ourselves a situation comedy.
Yeah. Well, we're missing a couple of key singles here.
Right. Yeah, there are a couple singles. You're right.
We've
Jumping the
got
gun here.
Olmo, Nienna, and of course Melkor himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think Olmo and Nienna would be the will they, won't they sort of situation.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Olmo is the Sea King. We sort of talked about him. He's, god of water.
Yeah, he's Arda's Neptune or Aquaman, whatever you want.
Poseidon, whatever you want,
Yeah.
whatever you will. And I've got a couple weird picks for him.
All right, let's hear what you got.
I've got Michael Cera.
It's like perfect because it's definitely a miscasting, but it's like a perfect
Yes.
miscasting.
Thank you. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Where he just
It's like
doesn't-
shirtless Michael Cera, just like giant standing in the sea.
does not portray power in any way.
No, he lives on a houseboat.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just like a little lake out back, and he just lives on a houseboat out there. And then I think I also had Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh yeah, that would work. That would work great. He's hilarious as well.
Yeah, he's also very funny. But I kind of prefer the just sort of miscasting of Michael Cera. But I mean, either way, whoever they can get, whoever's DNA they have.
Yeah, whoever's available. Yeah, I like that one. Well, yeah.
Nienna?
Nienna's a tough one because she's always crying, constantly crying, but not for herself, not because she's sad for herself. She's sad for all the terrible things that are happening at all times.
Yeah, basically because Melkor ruined the world, she's been mourning it ever since. So basically since the beginning of creation.
Yeah. She her tears even watered the trees and cleaned the trees after Melkor and Ungoliant just decided to screw them all up.
Yeah, but she's also the Lady of Mercy, and she actually
is.
When they captured Melkor after their first sort of war, she forgave him and wanted to spare him.
Yeah, she could not see how wicked he really had become.
Yeah, but it speaks to her character and what she really is about, because she's sort of a goddess of mourning.
Yeah, mourning and mercy and mourning the evil. Yeah,
mercy, I think, is her more sort of important role and one that shouldn't be underplayed.
Which I think one of the Maya who was a student, I guess, or servant of Nienna is Olorin, who'd be known in the Third Age as Gandalf.
Yeah, a wise and merciful being. Yeah,
very merciful. Yeah.
One of the only ones who could forgive Gollum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's always like, yeah, you know what? Mercy's a good thing. Mercy's a good thing. And right, if not for Nienna teaching the value of that to the wizard we would know as Gandalf, Frodo might have killed Gollum. Yeah, the wizard formerly known as Gandalf. Yeah, Frodo might have killed Gollum, and they never would have destroyed the ring. So, mercy has its place.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's just going to be crying a lot. So I had two picks. One was Elizabeth Olsen. I feel like I've seen her cry a few times, and she just sort of has like a sad.
She's very good at crying.
Yeah. No, I was trying to pick somebody who's good at crying.
For sure. She's a great choice.
It sounds like it would be like reductive in any other case, but I mean, she's literally just like crying all the time. And I think she's just living in Magway and Arda's house, just sort of like locked in her room, like crying and like hitting her hands on the bed. Occasionally she comes out and she's just sort of sniffling, has a few like sort of interacts a little bit, and then she
bursts into tears again.
Yeah. So something minor causes her to burst into tears again. I don't know how much play the bit would get, but that's just her role.
That's a task for the writers, all right?
I think
we're executive producers here.
Yeah, I think Ulmo's the only one who can sort of comfort her.
Yeah,
and
because he likes all the water.
Yeah.
That's like, Michael Cera awkwardly as Ulmo trying to comfort her would be very, very funny.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
But I was thinking Winona Ryder also.
Oh yeah. She does a good cry.
Like a younger Winona Ryder, because I figure I see Nienna as being like sort of younger. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. You could argue that her mercy is even a bit of naivete.
Yeah, I mean they're all sort of like eternally youthful, so it's sort of a moot point.
Yeah.
And then let's get on and wrap this up with one of the most important of the Valar, but also a huge dick, Melkor.
Melkor, asshole Melkor, aka Morgoth, aka the Dark Lord, aka
he's got a number of names, but
none of them very nice.
Yeah, he was basically the god of fire, and like sort of like chaos, basically.
Yeah, Yeah, he was
like
a
volcanoes
chaotic guy.
and fires and forest fires and sort of like energy as well. Like not
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean he's
know.
the most powerful of all of them.
Yeah,
So he's got
yeah.
he's like the leader of the gang that also lives on the street.
Yeah,
He's like walking
he
around with his
definitely.
Balrogs like they're
Yes,
in
he's got like a biker gang, and he's always stirring up trouble for the neighborhood. They're
Oh
always like
man,
riding in
okay.
on their loud motorcycles.
Okay, now that you put it in a motorcycle context, I have a pick, but I want to hear
I
what you
have
came up with.
four.
Okay, all right,
So
great,
let's.
yeah,
Do you want to hear? No,
yeah. Let's
I
hear what
can
you got.
start with some that are like not as good, and I'll go to my favorite last. So first, I've got Robert De Niro.
That would be a funny one.
It'd be funny, but
Yeah,
like I don't know. I don't know if he's the right kind of villainous for this role.
yeah. He's not quite. I don't know that he's quite there. Yeah, he's
No, probably
maybe a
not.
younger Robert De Niro, like a Taxi Driver era
Yeah,
Robert
I
De
mean that's
Niro.
what I was kind of thinking,
Yeah,
whatever.
that could
But
work. Yeah.
uh, and then Sam L. Jackson.
It's
I think it would just be
a pretty good
funny
one.
as Malcor,
It would
but
be a
like
very, very
I
funny
also
Melkor.
don't know if it's like the exact right vibe for, especially now with the
Yeah.
context of the biker gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you have?
I was thinking Ryan Hurst, who you might know as Opie on Sons of Anarchy. He was also in Walking Dead. He was like one of the guys that wears the zombies' faces as a mask in The Walking
Oh
Dead.
yeah,
He
that
was in.
guy.
He was the guy who gets in the accident and Remember the Titans as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
especially like with that
Opie as
concept.
Melkor. It'd be a mix of that character with his character from Walking Dead. I think that would work.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Who else?
I'm
Who
liking
else
the
did you have?
biker gang.
Yeah,
So
the
I got
biker
two
gang works. I
more.
like that a lot. Balrogs on hogs. How cool would that be?
One person who's just one of my favorite villains is Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh yeah, he's a scary villain for sure.
Yeah, he just knows how to play it, and
Yeah, he's
I
very
think he
good.
can do it.
Yeah,
Do it some justice for sure.
yeah, yeah. That's a good
And
choice.
finally, my personal favorite pick, Jared Leto,
Ugh.
real life villain.
Yeah, really dirt bag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't
I
know.
hate him so much that it would be pretty good actually.
Yeah, right.
Like, I do
He
not care
like
for him. But you're
yeah,
not supposed to like Melkor, so he might
yeah,
do a good job.
exactly.
It's not like he can't act. That's not one of the reasons I hate him. So,
Yeah,
all right,
and he
fair
wouldn't
enough.
even have to act that hard. He'd just have to be like a biker douchebag, and I think he could
Yeah.
pull that off pretty
I
easily.
mean,
He's
yeah.
basically
The
method
second
right
half of
now.
that, yeah, for sure.
uh, yeah. So that's he
All right.
keeps coming in stern trouble. I think
I
we
think
nailed this
we have some
down.
great options for this sitcom that's going to happen
Yeah.
in 30 years.
If only I knew.
Only I knew. Again, it needs to be said how much I love that name for this goofy Valar sitcom that we're
Yeah,
creating.
I
It's such a
appreciate
good
it.
name.
Thank you.
It's so good.
And I guess all the gardeners and like there'd just be a bunch of like gardeners and landscapers and everything, and they're just all
Yeah.
Maiar.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think hopefully
Awesome.
we were able to help explain a little bit of
Yeah,
the
hopefully you get
religion.
yeah, yeah, hopefully this fills out some of these people or these gods really should say
Yeah,
for those of you who, like
haven't
many of us,
explored
struggled through
much.
trying to read the Silmarillion and figure out who these characters really are.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
an interesting pantheon. It's not as
it
fleshed
is.
out as Greek or any
Yeah,
sort
but
of mythology.
yeah, but those were all real religions, and this is a
Yes, this
fantasy.
is
It's a fantasy
something
book.
this
Yeah,
one guy made up.
yeah. This one guy made up this entire thing. I'd say it's pretty good considering that.
Yeah, and he did an
Uh,
impressive bang up job.
he really did, and so did we with the casting.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we there are a couple questionable ones, but we can always circle back and
Yeah.
and also, maybe all those people will be gone by the time this actually gets made.
Yeah, we'll have to cast Timothy
Including
Chalamet as
us,
everybody.
yeah. Yeah, Timothy Chalamet would make also a pretty good Melkor, I think, in a couple
Actually, yeah.
years.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't
Well,
believe that he could play a badass king, but then I saw whichever movie
The
that was on
King?
Netflix. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, I believe so.
Was it just called The King? Yeah, he
Yeah.
pulled it off.
Yeah, he did.
I was surprised. I was like, he's so skinny, he can't swing a sword. But then there's that really great fight scene, and he does just that. And I was like, all right,
Yeah.
touche, Timothy Chalamet.
Well, enough with the Timothy Chalamet facts. Let's get into a Tolkien fact to wrap this up.
All right, yeah, we should.
Whose turn is it this week?
I think it's your turn because last week I made that mistake.
You can tell I'm already prepared with this.
God, we are just so organized on
Here,
this.
let me check my composite notebook. So it says here that by 1937, Tolkien was ninth in line for the throne of England. That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. No, not unbelievable. Hard to believe.
Hard to believe, but not unbelievable. Fair enough.
It's still
That's
believable.
Amazing. What an amazing fact.
Yeah, he, just a couple assassinations away. That's what he used to say, and what Christopher used to say about him. Yeah.
It's just always a few assassinations away
from
away
rolling England.
Being the big cheese.
And what an England it would have been.
You'd have to imagine a better one.
Maybe.
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 I mean, it's not like the actual royals did such a bang up job, so why not?
Sure enough. All right. Well, with that, I guess.
Yeah. With that, join us next time and Namarie.
Namarie.